Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Susan Valkai and I'm 21 years old. I've had eczema for the last 10 years of my life and I'm not counting anymore because I'm almost there, almost healed. For the last 5 years, ever since around high school or the beginning of high school, I have had absolutely the worst skin of my life. It started out on my hands, went to my legs, and then finally my face. And when it reached that point, that's when I realized I want to heal this from the inside out. No more excuses, no more relying on ointments, prescription drugs, medication, the dermatologist. It's time to get rid of this once and for all. And I went on a health journey to basically heal this from the inside out to prevent, reverse, and heal my skin from eczema permanently. And I went vegan at that time, but it took a 1 year of basically figuring out which diets, like these gluten-free, nut-free, all of this, until I finally got to the perfect eczema-free diet that for the last 12 months has gotten me enormous success. Almost 90% complete reversal of my eczema, and it's thanks to these 5 food groups. Now, I like to emphasize fruits because it's easy, because people already eat tons of fruits. Vegetables and other things are a little bit harder. They have to try a little harder to incorporate that into their diet. But I basically start my day with fruits. I put bananas and berries on top of my oatmeal, and then throughout the day I'll be snacking on different fruits like apples, oranges, peaches, pears, whatever's in season. But basically somewhere between 3 to 5 servings of fruit. And what this actually does is fruit has tons of fiber and tons of vitamins, nutrients, phytonutrients, all of these things that basically aid our organs to detox from any toxins that enter our system. So the skin is the last place where basically toxins come out. So fruits, definitely get in as much as you can. Get in as many quantity of vegetables as possible. I'll repeat it, as many vegetables as possible. The more shit you have on your plate, the more it's displacing the vegetables that could be on your plate. The more it could be displacing all those high fiber, high nutrient foods that are just going to help you clear your skin up. So things like leafy greens, things like non-starchy vegetables like your carrots, celery, bell peppers, cucumbers, and then your starchy vegetables, things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, parsnips, and they are going to be responsible for cleaning out your skin and your liver and your kidneys. And I don't mean white flour and white rice. When I mean grains, I mean whole grains, intact with the fiber, the wheat germ, whatever it is. So I eat predominantly, this is me, because this is what I enjoy, quinoa, barley, potatoes and sweet potatoes. Those aren't grains, but they're whole, high carbohydrate foods like the rest. And of course, every so often I'll have whole grain pasta and whole grain bread. But my main things are quinoa and barley. Again, it's going to help your organs clear out your toxins from the body and help clear out the skin. What I like to do to make this simple for you guys, because I came from a standard Western diet. I wasn't always vegan. I wasn't always vegetarian. I always used to think that the protein was at the center of the meal, like some chicken, fish, beef, something like that, always at the center, and then vegetables and potatoes maybe or bread would be on the side. You got to rewire that thinking. Now I look at it like, what is the whole grain and bean that could be at the center of my plate? So a lot of the times I'm eating things like quinoa with chickpeas, or some kind of a lentil stew with brown rice, or baked potatoes with a split pea soup. I like to focus on beans and whole grains at the center of my plate, and then the vegetables and things like that are going to be the side dishes. So things like lentils, peas, beans, chickpeas. Because it's so important to lead a low-fat lifestyle with eczema, because high-fat foods are essentially causing inflammation. They're causing backup in your digestion, and they make it really hard for the skin to clear up. This is why some people have acne. This is why some people have dermatitis. And this is why people have eczema. So the higher fat you go in your diet, the more eczema or the more dermatitis you're going to see. But that doesn't mean you should be leading a zero-fat, low-fat lifestyle. I think the sweet spot is about 20% calories from fat. Things like avocados, anything from coconut, whole sources of coconut like coconut milk or coconut meat, nuts and seeds. If you are allergic to nuts, focus on seeds. And then of course tofu and tempeh. Those are the main 5 sources. Forget oils, forget coconut oil, olive oil, extra virgin, this or that bullshit. The problem with oils is they are refined.
What do we have them eat? Whole grains, legumes, lentils, vegetables, and fruit. You've all familiar and heard about this. No oil, fish, fowl, meat, or dairy. No oil. No oil. Let's just take a moment here because some people still are not clear about the fact, no oil.
They're completely stripped of fiber, lots of their nutrients, lots of their vitamins. You essentially can treat it like white flour, white sugar. Yes, it does have some properties that are beneficial, but it also has a lot of bad properties. So I would just say cook with water, cook with vegetable broth, stay away from the refined things that are just going to cause your digestion and skin health problems. So what this looks like now, you have these 5 food groups: fruits, vegetables, grains, beans, nuts, seeds, avocados, your healthy fats essentially. It's going to be a whole food plant-based diet. No, you do not have to worry about calcium, protein, iron, zinc, magnesium, all these things. They're all taken care of in this wide array of fresh plant foods. 20% from fat, 20% from protein, which you can get easily from tofu, beans, tempeh, things like that. And then the rest from whole carb sources, things like potatoes, sweet potatoes, grains, and some other starchy vegetables. And what this is going to look like is, in the beginning, you're going to have a shit ton of eczema, flare-ups, inflammation, whatever. And it's not because the foods are bad. It's not because you're eating, some citrus or some pineapple or there's some sugar in it was no good. No, what's happening is when you put good food into your body, all the toxins from allergens, environmental sources, previous foods, corticosteroids and medication and ointments that you've taken that you're no longer taking, those are going to come out. They're going to be filtered through your kidneys and liver, lungs and blood. And what that's going to look like is eczema on the skin, because this is the last surface all that shit comes off of. So the longer you're eating that food, the longer you're staying committed to eating these 5 food groups, the more of that stuff that can get out of your body. The liver takes months to filter out the blood, and it's going to take months for that to show up on your skin. So essentially, it's somewhere between 6 to 18 months that the average person is going to detox and start to fully recover from eczema. So hang in there, because you have to stay committed if you want the results. And believe you me, if you've seen my pictures from about a year ago, if you see my pictures from many years ago, it absolutely works. We are all relatively the same. Some people are a little bit allergic to things here and there. You can get around that, but we all react the same to this diet, and we can all have healthy skin from this diet. So hang in there, and I'll see you guys in the next video.